12 Men Who Changed the World, the incredible story of the disciples. The days looked the same. Cast the net. Pull it in. Hope for a good catch. Peter and Andrew stood ankle-deep in the cool waters of Galilee, hauling in their latest attempt. Some days were better than others, but life was simple and predictable. Matthew, on the other hand, sat behind his wooden table, stacking coins. People sneered as they passed him, muttering insults under their breath. He was used to it. Money had its perks, but loneliness was the price. James and John worked alongside their father, their hands weaving nets for the next day's catch. They dreamed of something greater, but dreams rarely changed reality. Then, one day, everything changed. A stranger walked along the shore. His presence was commanding, his eyes full of something none of them had seen before. He stopped, looked at them, and spoke 2 words that shattered their predictable world. Follow me. No explanation, no persuasion, just an invitation. Without fully understanding why, they dropped their nets, their coins, their routines, and they followed. Something inside told them this was what they had been waiting for. Every day with him was an adventure. They saw things that defied explanation. The blind could see, the lame could walk, the dead, alive again. Crowds gathered wherever he went, hanging on his every word. They watched as he turned a few loaves and fish into a meal for thousands. They saw demons flee at his command. They saw love, unlike anything the world had known. But it wasn't all easy. They stumbled. They argued over who was the greatest while he knelt and washed their feet. Peter, always the bold one, stepped onto the water, but sank the moment doubt crept in. Through it all, he never gave up on them. He taught, he forgave, he loved. Then everything fell apart. One moment, he was their unstoppable leader. The next, he was bound, beaten, dragged through the streets. The same hands that had healed the sick were now nailed to a cross. The voice that had stilled the storm now cried out in pain. Darkness covered the land, and then silence. Peter, who had sworn he would never leave, denied even knowing him 3 times. And when the rooster crowed, his heart shattered. Afraid and defeated, they hid. The man they had left everything for was gone. Had they been wrong? But then, hope. 3 days later, the tomb was empty. He was alive. He found them again, not as a ghost, but real, whole, victorious. And he gave them a promise. They wouldn't be alone. Power was coming. Days later, as they gathered in an upper room, wind roared through like a storm. Fire rested on each of them, but it didn't burn. A power unlike anything they had known filled their bones, their hearts, their voices. Suddenly, the fearful became fearless. The hesitant became bold. Peter, who had once cowered at a servant girl's question, now stood before thousands, declaring the truth. Miracles followed them. The sick were healed, the dead raised. Prison doors opened on their own. Wherever they went, cities were changed. The world would never be the same. From Jerusalem to the ends of the earth, their message spread like wildfire. They were beaten, imprisoned, and even killed, but they never stopped. Because they knew the truth. They had seen it with their own eyes. They had been ordinary, but in the hands of God, they had become extraordinary. And El Kara is still calling. You are important, you matter. He still takes the ordinary and does the impossible, and that includes you. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3:20. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Help spread the message and let others experience the power of transformation. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload.